have clearly analyzed over the last 6 months what the globalists are planning next. I don't know in what order they're going to play these cards, but I know what cards they hold in their fist, in their hand. And clearly, it is going to be an attempted assassination of Barack H. Obama. I am as sure of this as the sun coming up in the morning and setting in the evening. And coming up in 1 hour, I will break it down. News Blitz, straight ahead. Stay with us. Coming up, Barack Obama comes right out in the open and says he's going to rule by executive decree. And the controlled corporate press tells you it's legal and lawful. They're going to further bring in the NAFTA superhighways, get rid of the borders, come after the Second Amendment, launch new wars, expand secret arrest and torture, the federalization of local police, the takeover of the Internet. We are getting deep into the global system right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also going to break down the 2 Newsweek hit pieces on myself in 1 week. We're going to break down the fact that I am 100% clear, just like I was 100% clear that they were going to stage an attack on the World Trade Centers. Months before it happened, I was 100% clear they were going to launch a flu hysteria in January of last year, 3 months before they launched the operation. I am 100% clear in my mind, in the still of the night, that I have all of my intellect, that they are going to stage a false flag on Obama. I believe that is the next card. And the enemy has tipped their hand. So that is coming up as well. And yes, I'll get into what happened late last week with Deborah Medina on the Dark Ones radio show, proving again at key points when Ron Paul had a chance to win the primary, he came out and told his 10 million listeners on radio, his 2 million on TV at the time, now it's 5 million on TV, 4 million, that Ron Paul was a kook and dangerous and evil and a 9/11 truther. He's now done it to Medina, backing Rick Perry, who may be from West Texas, the son of a cotton farmer, but he's pure New World Order by his actions. You judge a tree by its fruits. Have we forgotten he's the one that brought us the Trans-Texas Highway, the takeover of 8,000 miles of roads? Then last year when we were beating them, they said, okay, don't worry, we're not going to do it now. They just stopped calling it the Trans-Texas Corridor and all the toll roads are going in. I mean, just anywhere where there's a close balance between us winning and losing, Glenn Beck rushes in and throws his full weight on the side of the New World Order. Every time. I mean, do you have any discernment, some of you out there? Any discernment? I mean, at least Michael Savage will admit that Obama will stage terror attacks and that if they push Sarah Palin for 2012 that they're going to lose and that she's a ringer for Obama. I mean, anyone with a moron's understanding of politics would know that. And so you got to give credit where it's due. On every point, Glenn Beck is a demon. I don't want to attack him. But my discernment, my gut, my intellect, my research tells me he is at a key juncture point in our resistance movement. He is Benedict Arnold. He is Judas Iscariot. And he will lead us to destruction, just as Barack Obama will lead you to destruction. When Medina was gaining 5 points a week, he came in and strafed her. And it's still not clear whether it was a death blow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be opening the phones up in the next hour, and I'm going to break down the next false flag. Okay, folks, when we come back after this quick break, I'm going to break down some very important information. Stay with us. Glenn Beck. I have taken a particular interest in this man because when he showed up on the scene in 2002 on talk radio, he was clearly an actor. And then I saw him over the years always pose as a constitutionalist, as a patriot, but at every key juncture point when Ron Paul had a chance to win the Republican primary, Glenn Beck came out and said he's dangerous, he's bad, used the army against him and his supporters. Even last year, over and over again, calling Ron Paul a kook. And I've seen him do countless other things. You know, he'll do some good on the health care. He'll do some good on Acorn. He'll do some good on some key areas. But overall, he's there as a gatekeeper to be the leader of the Patriot movement. And then every time you get somebody real like Deborah Medina, who could clearly win the Republican primary and then hands down beat the Democrats, all the pollsters agree with that, who will get rid of property tax, who will control the border, and would send shockwaves into all the other states, already is having other people run through the Tea Party movement. We have Republicans being booed at the Tea Parties, Rick Perry, Cornyn, others a year and 2 months ago here in Texas. Then the Republicans come in and start taking it over. Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, Sarah Palin, and others. You have Palin coming into Texas, endorsing Perry over Deborah Medina. She would definitely win if Palin would have endorsed her. So to control us, they have to pose as us, just as Cass Sunstein at the White House says. Because the establishment has no credibility in the controlled right or the controlled left. So they have to pose as the revolutionaries to be able to maintain control of the population. Now, on key issues of 9/11 truth, of FEMA camps that they have bills in Congress for, that they admit they've built, the civilian inmate labor camp program, Army.mil, you've got all of this admitted on record. And then you have Glenn Beck on subject after subject, building up the hype for a month. And I believe the FEMA camps are real, he said, and then coming out and discrediting it. Exactly as I predicted he would, even with the very fake camps that we exposed over a decade ago. I predicted he would use those fake camps, and he did indeed do that. A, he's either completely copying everything on this show, or B, I knew he would go with what had already been debunked, and I understood his mindset to such a level we were able to accurately predict that. But bottom line, he's a teleprompter reading puppet. Now, again, when Bush is in, the Republicans are the face of the New World Order and the establishment. And they push for the open borders and the high taxes and tripling the size of government and new wars and torture and Homeland Security and Northcom. And in April of 2008, the Bush White House has the Justice Department under Mukasey put out the MIAC Homeland Security report. They put out the Master report stating the number one enemy of the government and of Northcom and Homeland Security is gun owners, conservatives, returning veterans that are gun owners, libertarians in the fetters, Ron Paul, Bob Barr. Then we get the information in January, we release it, and the media, Fox News, picks it up and says, oh, look, Obama issued this. And Obama did reissue it and did expand it. But the point is, I knew back in 2007, 2008, that Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Neil Bortz, all of these guys had gone to the White House, met with Bush over and over again, came out and told us he was a man of God we should trust, a man we should love. And I knew, because I'd had previous Homeland Security reports distributed at the state levels, I mean, we've gotten and released more than 30 over the years, a lot more than that. Look at my films like Road to Tyranny and Police State 2000. Films made 8 years ago, a film made 10 years ago. In the case of Police State 2000, you see everything that's in the MIAC report and in the Homeland Security report that got so much attention finally last year, but being issued by Bill Clinton, by George Bush, by Barack Obama. It doesn't matter. It's the same. And so when I saw Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity, Limbaugh never really did it. He's kind of his own person, but still establishment. But, I mean, these guys are actually getting talking points from the White House. When I heard them giving out exact talking points, I said these guys are obviously enemies. These guys are posing